Back for another week, episode 20. It's been a bit of a crazy week in the world of work, and training's been going pretty well, although I have sustained a small hamstring problem at the moment, which I'm trying to get on top of. Thought it was a bit of a glute issue, but spoke to the physio yesterday. High hamstring, sort of rolling into the glute area. So start some rehab on that. It's been due to a little bit of overuse, I suppose, just trying to increase my running load. And then I included a few hills the other week, and that got me. But nevertheless, I'll get on top of it. Lots of single leg bridges, laying on the floor, foot on the floor, 1 foot up in the air. Place your heel on the ground of the foot that's on the floor, and then bridging your butt up and holding for up to 45 seconds, 3 times each side, 3 times per day. Very good hamstring strengthening. What I'm finding personally is that if you move your foot further away from your butt or closer to your butt, you load the hamstring in different areas. If I go too far away from my butt at the moment, I create cramps in my hamstring. So I've just got to edge my foot a little bit further back, but still keeping that load. If I get too close to my butt, then obviously take the load off the hamstring, depending on how strong or how weak you are at the moment. But so that's my little bit of a tidbit for the morning on how to recover from some running overuse injuries. But I just wanted to touch on an article that I wrote the other day, and I titled the article, "The World is a Noisy Place." Now, I'm definitely part of this culture, shiny new object syndrome. I do jump around a little bit. I have jumped around a lot in the past. I've chased investments. I've chased different business opportunities, and they haven't worked out so well. I invested with somebody some years ago who ended up stealing a lot of money from me and changed the position of my life. And that was chasing something shiny and new. I didn't do enough due diligence on the guy, didn't really dig into the company, dig in about, who's behind it. He promised all these, shiny new things. He was dealing with this company. He's got a letter of intent with this company, and I didn't check any of it. I actually knew the person, so I put a bit of faith in them. But it just reminded me about the only things when I've done quite well in life and things I'm really proud of has been when I've just stuck to the plan, stayed the path, and done things consistently for an extended period of time. And to be honest, that has been always around my health and fitness. I've maintained pretty much a strong workout routine and a healthy lifestyle since I was probably 13, 14, 15. Started to cook for myself when I was very young due to my parents separating, and then I just chose that healthy lifestyle path. It doesn't mean I don't venture off that path every now and then, but I don't get sucked into this shiny object syndrome in my health and fitness world. In the business world, I've been a bit of a culprit, wanting things too quickly, basically. So, but yeah, I just wanted to go through a few things and, try and give people a bit of an idea that everything worth doing in life is a little bit difficult, sometimes hard. You get a lot of satisfaction out of doing things that are very hard, but it also takes time, and they need to be consistent. One of the things I used to say to my guys when I was coaching them for a long time was, real high-level masters athletes, everyone was over 35, and because there was no big shift we could make, I couldn't actually make a big shift in their training plan or what we were doing to make a big gain. So we had to focus on micro gains all the time. And I used to question or get them to bring ideas to training themselves and say, okay, what 1% things can we do this week that will actually shift the needle over the next 12 months? And, we had things like focusing more on our warm-up, focusing more on our cool down. We're often, we're track runners. We often just wanted to finish up the track session, put your gear back on, your tracksuit or your clothes, whatever it is, and then get in the car and drive home. The problem there was you've done this really aggressive track session. Track running is very hip dominant. You end up with very tight hip flexors. And then you go and sit in the car, and for some of the guys, up to 40 minutes to drive home after training, and then your hip flexors tighten up, your lower back tightens up, you struggle for the next session. So we started to, spend more time cooling down, just walking a slow lap initially, do some light stretching. And it was a really nice time to bond and have a few laughs and a few jokes after training. But it just reminded me about, it's the little things consistently over a long period of time that make the big change. We've got to steer away from this shiny new object syndrome. Someone comes out with a new fitness routine, someone comes out with a new fitness object, a new fitness tracker. And I'm not against any of these things. And I look at them myself, and I wear an Oura ring. I think it's been great. Now I've got majority of the data, unless they start to improve that data. I probably don't need it anymore. I know the impact of alcohol. If I have 1 or 2 glasses of wine, definitely my temperature overnight will go up and my heart rate will go up. My HRV is out of whack. And then sometimes it will take me a day or two for my sleep pattern to get back into context. If I sleep quite hot, if I'm hot in my room, my temperature goes up. So some of these things, once I've gathered that data, I don't really need to look at that data anymore. I don't need to wear that ring. I still do, but not all the time now. So, yeah, I've chased some of these shiny new things occasionally, but I still keep going back and look at what I've done consistently over a very long period of time have also given me the greatest gains. So part of me, I feel for people that are actually on this yo-yo all the time. They're yo-yoing up and down, trying to find what diet works best, what exercise routine works best, or there's a new person coming out with this new diet. So I think the problem with today's world is the amount of noise around us. It's noisy everywhere. We are bombarded by social media marketing, social media wannabes, influencers, all these people online today with all this information that they're throwing at us consistently. Often, like many of us, we don't go and check who they are or what they've done or where they're coming from, or is it good information or good data? And people could be listening to me right now saying it's the same. I don't profess to have all the answers. All I can say is that I've got a lot of experience over a very long period of time. But I think we need to try and avoid these shiny new objects. We need to find things that work for us. No problem with changing things occasionally. I change my workouts around probably every 6 to 8 weeks, depending on what sort of phase I'm in. I'm in more of a gym strengthening phase again at the moment, part due to my hamstring problem, but I was also going in strength phase. I then will increase the running again, try and get my fitness back up, and then I'll move into probably some high rocks training either late December or early January to doing a high rocks event again next year. But I think the important thing for me is trying to create just an overall healthy day routine. And I wrote down in the post or the blog that I wrote just my typical day. This isn't every day, but majority of the days, this is what my day looks like. I get up around 5 to 5:30 most days. I choose to either read, write, or run. Some days I will get up and try and go for a run. It's not normally that far. It's 4 to 5 Ks. I'd like to be able to run further. My body does struggle a little bit in the morning. After my run, or if I've read or I like to write and read in the mornings, then I will go and have a coffee with a friend. We work together and we have a bit of a daily brief every morning. It's nice to get that out the way. We're both sort of fresh. We haven't had those interruptions. So we catch up around 6:30. I come home. I normally flick through a few emails and I make some breakfast around the 7:30 mark. 8:30 until 10, I typically work from home. I find the quiet time in the morning. I get a lot of emails done. I get through all my work. Then I head into the office. I have lunch at the same time every day around 11:45, and I typically buy the same food every day. I normally have some sort of chicken sandwich. And yeah, so I think, again, it's finding these consistencies, things that you don't have to think about. Just do them every day. Find something really healthy and do it every day. And I don't know, I wish I had the answer how to get people off some of these other fast foods, and they just go and buy a healthy salad with some chicken in it. You need to be getting protein and some sort of vegetable or salad into you every day around lunch. I have a protein shake mid-afternoon around 3:30. So I'm trying to consume around 160 grams of protein per day. I get a big chunk of that in the morning. I get obviously more at lunch, and then I get some more protein intake around 3:30 afternoon. I will have some protein for dinner as well. In the evenings, I will normally go to the gym. I'm normally a gym after work person, but if I haven't gone for my morning run, I will run in the evenings. I try and have dinner quite early, around 7:30-ish. And then I start preparing for bed around 9 p.m. I like to listen to an audio book at the moment or a podcast. So I'll jump in bed, I'll listen to that for, 15, 20 minutes, and then I'm trying to get to sleep around 9:30 every day. So that's my typical day, and I'm just finding having that routine and knowing what my day looks like every day from a work and personal point of view, it's just easy. It just makes life easy. I don't have to think too much about it, and I just get on with my day. Anyway, I just wanted to touch on that. I just wanted to bring up that, I'm finding the world a noisy place, and there's so many distractions coming at you from all different angles, but sometimes you've just got to narrow things down, find things that work for you, and, just stay the path. Anyway, short and sweet on my own. Still waiting for Chris to come back and join me, which we'll chat about what's been going on in his world. He's had a couple of health scares, but hopefully he'll be back on deck soon, and we'll get some interviews going. And anyway, stay healthy, and bye for now.